Hi, welcome to my channel. Yeah, so this video is a bit strange because obviously I'm a fan of pop culture and nostalgia, and I have a few bits that I collect and that. But what I was debating is like, I've been watching videos on YouTube, whether it's hyping up the James Bond game, which is just Hitman in a different disguise. To be honest, I mean, I'm enjoying playing it, but it's not the best Bond game I've ever played, and I don't feel like I'm Bond in it. I don't feel like it's enough of its own genre. But anyway, so like, there's a thing about keeping Bond alive through props and stuff like that. Whether it's aeroplanes, boats, cars, we've got to keep everything. When these things were made to make a movie and then destroyed mainly or left to rot because they are movie props. They're not meant to be kept for nostalgia. Then to me, when you've watched a film and you love the film, I don't need to go and see the plane that was in the film. Or that's not just me. I just think in life in general, if you so obsessed with it's not just James Bond. I mean, it could be anything that you're so obsessed that you have to not live your life, but you might dress like Bond, wear watches like Bond. Uh, when your free time from work is all Bond, 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 and you have a family. It's like collecting. Like I've said before, if you collect something, make sure your family are up for it and they're not just saying yes, 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 just to keep you quiet, you know. But I found it interesting because it's people my age or maybe just like younger that hold on to this. Like Star Wars is Star Wars can only be the first three films. No one else exists, even though the generation that grew up with the pre sequels or the saga series, which everyone hated, apart from me. Yeah, to me, Star Wars is a whole thing. You can't hold on to say my children have only seen the best. They find their own way, and I think sometimes we get so caught up in the thing of having to, hold on to what we had, but no one else is allowed to touch it. And thing it's the same with Bond. Bond has evolved from what he was in the 60s to the Daniel Craig era in the movies. And the books are a lot harsher than the movies with the Bond character and some of the situations. Uh, like when you read the books after watching the films, some of them are quite shocking, especially The Spy Who Loved Me. I found that quite disturbing in places, to be honest, the book. But there has to be a balance. That's what all I'm saying. I'm not criticizing anybody who fan base so much, whether it's Star Wars, dressing up all the time, cosplay, or they live Star Wars, or they live James Bond, or they live whatever cult hero they've got 24/7. That's not healthy. Healthy is having that part in your life and then having another part of your life. That's far more important. And that should be only a small portion. But if it takes up your whole entire life, you only have a short life. Most people only live under 100 years. Some people live longer, some people live less through circumstances or whatever. So it's okay I could put a Bond film on and go, yeah, I used to watch that with my mate and it's great. And I went to see the premiere of uh, License to Kill and all that lot in London and, the nostalgia of that. But to me, that's happened. I love that moment in time for me personally. Or going to a Bond film. Spy Love Me is my favourite Bond film. But we've got to go with the times. James Bond, the whole genre, whether Amazon carry on making movies or whatever, eventually it will finish. It has to finish. He will have to retire. He cannot go on for another 50 years because society's changing. The way we spy on other people, the way we talk to each other, the way we find information, it's all changing. And at some point, that character of Bond will be not able to fit into the society we're in now. And all I'm trying to say is nostalgia's great. Enjoy what you enjoy, but have it in segments, not the whole cake, slices. And yeah, it's just the way, I mean, everything is influenced through your childhood, growing up, whether it's pop culture or relatives or whatever. They all blend into the person you become. So it's kind of a weird video. I just wanted to put out that anybody who's so obsessional about one thing is missing out of everything. And, you know, there's a place for things, there's a place for that. But if you just become, you know, somebody who watches movies all the time, or somebody who collects toys all the time, or you've got to follow a certain hero as your escapism. Escapism is fine, but you have to have some kind of reality in it to make it enjoyable, because otherwise it just becomes obsessional. And James Bond's no different. James Bond, it's very hard because history is a very strange thing with the human race. We've got museums with things that go back thousands of years, and it's very important to have them. But we live for now, and history has been manipulated anyway into different things, and pop culture is no different. You know, you don't need to save everything. You don't need to. I'll probably only get one view for this video anyway, which is fine. But I just want to put out there that a balance, you know. I did go through a stage when I was absolutely obsessed with Elvis when I was in my late 18s, 19s. Everything I got, t-shirt, record, anything memento, things like that. And it did me more damage because in society, I was very introverted because I just came so obsessed with that one God figure, you know, so to speak. So a nice life balance. I know I'm not trying to be preachy. I never am in these videos, but I'm just trying to give from my life experience to have a history of your own life. Sometimes you have to distract, you know, other things. You know, you are unique on this planet, and no one thing should determine how you've lived your whole life for 40, 50, 60, 100 years. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's just me. I'll just put it out there. If people don't agree, it's their thing. But I don't need to wear fancy James Bond watches or clothes or drive Aston Martins because James Bond did or whatever. There's people who want that. They got the money. Fine, fair enough. That's not what they want to do. They want to buy a comic and stick it in a vault because it's worth £5 million or whatever, or Picasso or Van Gogh, and never enjoy it. It's just beyond me. But anyway, that's just me. I'm quite happy just being a Bond fan, watches a Bond movie with my wife. She likes Bond too. And having a laugh, giggle, and yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Take care. Love you all. I'll see you in a video pretty soon.